but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words, like me. Play, toys, fun, games, cheekiness, with, intimacy, connection, relationships, and finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent or that of the program, its presenters, hosts, directors, or other team members.
This show is intended for audiences aged 23 and older. This production and its digital copies contain content of an adult nature. If you are easily offended or are under the age of 18, this show is not intended for you. The posts, pages, and recordings within are intended for adults only and may include descriptions of scenes of sexual content, suggestive opinions, detailed discussions, and graphic topics. Listener discretion is advised.
Passionate polys and sultry swingers. It's time for Lola's Lifestyle Lectures on your favorite seduction station, Lust FM, for the lustful listeners.
And I mean, I miss the cue. How can I? I mean, I do this every damn night. And tonight, on the season finale of Lifestyle Lectureship, I will miss the cue to say, good evening, lustfuls. Welcome to Lesson 8 in Semester 1 of Lola's Lifestyle Lectureship. I think I possibly missed the cue this evening because I am very sad, not even slightly, I'm not even going to lie. I'm pretty damn upset that this season is ending. I don't think I felt like this with any of the previous seasons that I've finished. This one is very near and dear to my heart. This whole season has been really an exciting adventure. I mean, I got to spend it with one of my besties, Miss KB. She's been like my wing woman throughout my lifestyle lectureship journey. I mean, it's also now our lifestyle lectureship journey, right? And I've just had the most amounts of fun. So if I get a little bit teary-eyed here with our guest, my beautiful baby Bella this evening, please forgive Lola. I'm slightly sentimental at the best of times. But let me not complain in your ears. Good evening, lustfuls. Like I said, welcome to Lesson 8. You should have been taking notes. We know it's Lesson 8 in Semester 1 of Lola's Lifestyle Lectureships. So last week, we were trending for the 4th week in a row at number 1 on Podbean as the number 1 spot within the international trending podcast. Woohoo, it was absolutely fantastic. We are still trending very high, but just not number 1. So I'm slightly upset about that. But I mean, number 2 is in a distant second, too far, right? We are still happy with second place. Second place this week for the Lola Blakely production team, and it's all thanks to our loyal, lustful listeners. I think some of them stopped listening because we are now ending the 2 shows out of the production. We need a break, guys. Bear with us. We'll be back. Let me start off by mentioning our endorsement site. The Council of Fantasy, you know it's Lola's favorite friends at the COF, our lifestyle-orientated community that offers everything from an education group to a community group for lifestylers, a community group for people interested in kink and exploring something extra in the BDSM realm. I mean, there's something for everybody. If you guys haven't signed up yet, also crawl out underneath that rock and come and see the light. Find us on www.counciloffantasy.co.za, or you guys can just head on over to Lola's website. That is www.lolust.fm, because everything is extra lustful with Lola. That's lust with a double L. www.lolustfm.live, not .co, not .za, not .com, .live, because we're live, right? Head on over to the bottom of the home screen. You'll find the WhatsApp icon there. Click on it and come and join our WhatsApp community. Your Lola Blakely production moderators for this evening are Miss Medusa, wifey, good evening. She's doing our moderating, obscene disclaimer, and she's also doing the timekeeping. Miss Big Red is here this evening, moderating and doing the welcoming messages for all the lustful listeners. Mr. Zane, all lustful loyal, this one. Mr. Zane is doing the follow and subscribe message and the conversation starter. And can you handle it, Lola? Even forgot to put her phone on silent. Yeah, no, I must be really upset. And then, of course, Mr. Black Dragon standing in for our production manager, Miss KB, doing production and socials this evening. So if you guys see them in the chat, say hi, give them a wave, send them a bouquet of flowers, send them a donut. These people are hungry. Okay, I make them work. I'm a slave driver. I make them work all damn day. Say hi. They're here to keep us safe, to keep the guests entertained, and to make sure that all of your questions are answered. Now, this is one of my favorite sections of the evening and of every lesson. Let me say hello to my bunny. Good evening, KB. Oh, hold on. I haven't unmuted you guys. You guys, everybody listening on Podbean this evening will notice that I do not have either KB nor our guest on the Podbean app this evening. It's because we had the most amount of difficulties, technical difficulties, and we've resorted to an alternative measure by good old WhatsApp video call this evening. So let's see how this works. Somebody's making a noise. Stop banging. Hello, is that you? She's going, no. No, I think it was me, actually. Hi, KB. How are you, my bunny? Oh, the signal's very shitty. A little bit shitty, but it's not too bad. Okay, let's see how it goes. KB, let's hear another hello from you.
Hello, Miss Lola. This is not as always.
There we go. That sounds better. Did you have a good week, my love?
I did. I had a very busy week with work, but I've been very productive.
Okay, your signal is really, really bad. So I'm going to ask you if you maybe just can't try and change your signal up. Maybe try to go to mobile signal instead of Wi-Fi. And whilst you do that, let me introduce our gorgeous guest this evening. I mean, everybody knows Lola's the biggest fan. Where is that noise coming from? It's horrible. Somebody's banging. Hang on, let me put that softer. Okay, nobody's banging. I think it's just my speaker. Okay, we're going to have to deal with the technical difficulties. It is what it is. Listen, they came here to listen to Lola and the guests talk shit, and Lola flirts with KB. That's why they're here, okay? They're not here to worry about the damn banging. My beautiful Bella Bills, owner, lifestyler, mentor. I mean, what aren't you? You're a mentor in the lifestyle. Absolutely a mentor in the lifestyle.
Okay, it's never meant to be that way, but I guess it just happened.
I think everybody looks up to you like a leader and a pillar, somebody to ask advice for and to lean on. I think you're very much a very important part of this.
Well, you know me, I'm full of opinions.
I mean, also, your opinions are possibly the only ones that matter. Let's be honest. The beautiful Bells.
With tons of experience, though. So.
The beautiful Bells, owner of NeXXXus Lifestyle Resorts, long-time lifestyler, and also very much like I said, a mentor and a leader within the non-monogamous relationship dynamic community, is joining us on air this evening for our episode called, okay, you know what, I'm going to end the call quickly and restart the call because there's a lot of interference. It's actually deafening to me. I'll find you guys back now. She's joining us on air this evening to discuss this evening's episode called Factual Fantasy, Judgment, Jurisdiction, and Jealousy within the Lifestyle. Look, the whole season was very much based off of explaining to mostly the vanilla listeners what a beautiful add-on a non-monogamous relationship dynamic can be and what it can mean to your intimate relationship, right? But here's the thing. It's not always rainbows and unicorns. It's a real difficult relationship dynamic to embark a journey on. So we are here this evening to give you guys factual information regarding the difficulties, the hardships, and the trials and tribulation that goes along with with having a non-monogamous relationship dynamic. Sorry, I'm trying to add Miss Bells, and I'm trying to keep the chat entertained at the same time. Miss Mel, you can actually keep the chat entertained while I'm busy with the technicalities. Tell the listeners what we're doing this evening, please, so that I can concentrate here. There we go, we're back. Hi, welcome back, everybody. Okay, let's hope this works now. Okay, I'm really sorry. I mean, what's the season finale without a little bit of technical difficulties, right? Hi, Bella, and welcome this evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know you went to a birthday party this afternoon. How was your party?
That was great. It's always nice to be with friends and not have to work that night. This night. Tomorrow was like my 1 week off in a month. 1 weekend, 1 night off.
You only take 1 weekend off a month?
Well, yes.
How's that for dedication, right?
Well, it's easy when you love what you do.
Exactly. We love that. Also, that's why Lola works every Friday and Saturday as well. So I suppose I can't fault you for that. Bells, we are discussing, I was telling the listeners whilst I was trying to get you guys back on air. No, I'm not trying to call anybody on Podbean. Okay, I need the moderators to please stop trying to find into the production at the moment, because I'm really trying hard to concentrate on keeping the technical difficulties aside. Okay, let's continue. Bells, you're here this evening because we're discussing factual fantasy, the judgment, the jealousy, and the jurisdiction that goes part and parcel with having a non-monogamous relationship dynamic, ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamic. I remember when you and I sat and we discussed, a couple of ideas, and we were bouncing ideas off of one another. I came to visit you one Friday afternoon at NeXXXus, and we sat and we were bouncing ideas to see what episodes we're going to put in here. And when we got to this one, I said, you know what? I really feel like we have built up this idealism of what it is and what it means or what it looks like to be a swinger, right? To have multiple partners. I mean, it sounds like a big fat doll, because you get to have sex with multiple people. You still get to have your partner with you. You've got consent from your partner. Your partner's actually even encouraging you to go ahead and explore relationships with other people. It sounds like an absolute dream come true, because we're normal people grew up, and in today's cultural society, most of us grew up monogamously in a monogamous relationship or in a monogamous household. So we aren't familiar with what it looks like to see a non-monogamous, ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamic. So now this like lotus flower is being held out in front of us, and it looks so beautiful and it looks amazing, and you just want to take a big bite of that piece of cake because you're craving all the chocolate. But here's the thing, it can really still be extremely dangerous to your relationship, to your future. And I don't want the listeners to get an idea that, this is going to be easy, we're just going to go in and have a lot of sex with a lot of people and think that's going to be okay. So let's talk about the judgment, the jealousies, and the jurisdiction that goes part and parcel of having an ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you call it judgment, jurisdiction, blah, blah, whatever. I just call it the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Good, the bad, and the ugly. There we go. Let's define the good. Also, let's be honest. Yes, I've now categorized it, and I don't really like putting things in boxes, and I don't really like putting names to things. But let's be honest. On every single episode so far in the lifestyle lectureship, we have proclaimed that no jealousy. Like, you get to a point in your relationship where you just trust your partner, and we don't get jealous of our partners. Boo! There is still jealousy, right? And the jealousy is a very real thing, especially if you're a vanilla couple and now having to learn how to not be jealous. So let's talk about jealousy in the lifestyle.
Okay, well, jealousy, you see, the thing you have to remember is swingers are not superheroes, okay? They're still only just human beings with human emotions. The biggest thing is, if you're going to get jealous, that's a human emotion. The thing that swingers learn over time, and it doesn't happen overnight, it really happens over time, is how to manage it. And how, to see what it is, actually. So jealousy does happen. You just have to manage it, control it, and just see it for what it is.
KB, how do you feel about the situation? I mean, you're in an ethical and non-monogamous relationship, right? What does jealousy look like to you? We can't hear you, KB. You're going to have to talk up.
Jealousy is
Okay, now, KB, your signal and your sound quality is really, really, absolutely horrible. I can't hear you at all. You break. Let's hear that again. Okay, let's go. KB?
Can you hear me better now, Miss Lola?
There we go. That's much better. Yes. Okay, go for gold.
So in my experiences, your jealousy becomes it can become.
Right. I've just figured out where the banging's coming from. Ms. KB, your signal is absolutely horrific. And it's actually you bouncing in and out of signal that keeps on making the banging sound. So I'm going to have to ask you to try and move out of the room that you're currently in. Maybe try and get into another room. Move over from one data setting to another data setting, and let's see if we can sort this out. Belle, I'm going to go back to you, and I'm going to go like, how is this something, how do you even start to learn how to be less jealous? Where do you even start?
Okay, well, you have to figure out why you're jealous. There's various reasons why people get jealous, but the most common one is because you're not secure in your relationship. So unless you are, and that's the first thing that you've got to do, you have to be secure in your relationship. You've got to know that even though your partner is talking to other people, flirting with other people, shagging other people, doesn't mean that he's going to be leaving you. And you, as a partner, also have to understand what your significant other is also feeling. You have to do the homework. And when I say you have to do the homework, is you have to, and that starts at home. So if you see your partner flirting with other people, he never flirts with you, of course that's going to happen. So you have to do the homework. So you've got to be secure in your relationship at home before you even think of going to venture out.
Of course, yes.
So I don't even know how to put this, but you have to be your primary partner's sort of lover first before he can go and be, or she can go and be somebody else's lover. You also need that attention.
Because that's possibly where swinging becomes cheating, right? And this is something we discussed last night. We just had a cheaters class last night on Lola's lessons. And one of the things that we discussed was if you aren't going to get the love, attention, and affection from your partner, and you then go onto an ethical non-monogamy journey and you get that love, attention, and affection from somebody else, that's where feelings are going to get involved, right?
Because it's missing from your life. Your life comes first, then your fantasies come after. If you eat pizza, you're not going to want more pizza.
Exactly. You want a variety. That's what people swing.
Right.
KB, how do you feel about jealousy?
Can you hear me better now, Miss Lola?
Yeah, a little bit, but you're going to have to speak into the phone.
Can you hear me better? Lola?
No. It's not working. You're going to have to go outside. Let's try outside. It's really, really, really terrible. Sorry about that. Your signal is absolutely horrific. So, okay, also jealousy looks different to different people, right? Some people would get jealous over the smallest amounts of things. Other people would get jealous over something that's really, really important to them. I think at the end of the day, it all depends on how effective your communication within your intimate relationship and between you and your partner actually is, what the standard of communication level is. Now, how do you perceive the communication level within most of the lifestylers?
Okay, well, the first thing you've got to realize is communication is not only verbal. Communication comes in many types of things. So it could be a touch. It could be just a look from your partner from the other side of the room, and he winks at you, and you know, okay, we're good. You know, so communication is not always verbal. It's just how it makes you feel.
And you can quickly see, if you know your partner well enough, you can quickly even see just in the facial expression. Like your partner can be on the other side of the hall, right? And your eyes will just meet and you'll see that facial expression and you'll be like, oh shit, okay, I'm in trouble now. Like I've done something that I shouldn't have. So yes, absolutely, communication can be body language. It can be a look of a face. It can be a facial expression. Do you find that lifestyle is overall, okay, Mel, you're going to have to sit still as well because it's possibly the banging on the phone. Something's not right on your side. Like I'm really struggling. It's a loud banging noise and it's definitely from your side. So within the lifestyle community, right, do you find that or do you think that a lifestyle community member would have to put extra emphasis on really, okay, this is very, very distracting, but I'm going to have to take you off. If this banging doesn't stop, I'm going to have to take it off. I cannot. Wow, it's really, okay, can you try and go, okay, hold on, let's just do this. Okay, I'm so sorry, Charles. Let's get back to it. So do you think that lifestylers overall tend to put more emphasis and more concentration on how their partners feel when out and about and trying not to manipulate a jealousy situation?
The successful couples, yes. And I see it at parties. The successful couples, even if they're talking in different groups of people, they're always looking at each other. And the husband will get a drink and bring it to his wife, or he'll walk past and just put his hand on her shoulder, or, you know, they're always looking out for each other and they're always considerate of each other. Then you have couples that'll come to a party and you know, everything is just so overwhelming and so great, and they go off in two different directions, or they could even be together, but they're not together. They're physically together, but they're not mentally together, if you know what I mean.
Yes, they're not in sync. Absolutely, I understand what you're saying. They're not in sync, yes.
Yeah.
How often, and I'm gonna ask you this because this is a tough episode where you said like this could possibly cause a lot of negativity, right? But it's important to have these conversations. How often do you see couples like going at it and having arguments and having disagreements when at a lifestyle party? Not necessarily at NeXXXus because I know we don't allow that. But overall, just when out and about, do we ever really see lifestylers like going at it in public?
Yes, you do. You do. And like I say, not the successful ones, because even the successful lifestylers, if they have a disagreement, they will not make it public. They will box it and we'll discuss it later. You know, they won't let that sort of upset the whole group dynamic. Where, and it's usually the older couple or the more experienced couple, because they've been through all the rough times. Okay, they've done all the stupid things.
Exactly.
No, this is a learning curve. and you learn new stuff about yourself and about your relationship and about the lifestyle every single time. There's more and more, because there's new dynamics. New people come into the group, other people leave, so there's always new dynamics. And the more experienced you are, the more you learn to sort of navigate that. It's all got to do with experience. Really. You can't expect a new couple coming into the lifestyle to be successful right away. They're going to bump their heads. And you know what? It's not always a bad thing. Just if you have a great mentor, if you have someone to talk to, and just, so-and-so did this and it really pissed me off, and then, your mentor will talk you through it. So, or, some people can just work it out themselves if they're committed.
This is actually why, this is exactly where I was leading towards with the question that I just asked, is how important do you think a decent mentorship program for lifestylers might be? How important do you think is having somebody like yourself, somebody that you can go to, that you can get advice from, or somebody that can see, okay, well, this couple is having a little bit of a hard time. Maybe we should pull them aside and tell them, look, this is actually not how we do it. Maybe try and resolve your issues in this way, or what exactly is the issue, and then giving an outside perspective. And how often do long-time lifestylers actually involve themselves when they see difficulties within other couples and try and help them? Because I found lifestylers to be very, I want to say, concerned about other people and about their relationships, and they want everybody to be happy. So I found them to be quite supportive and a loving community.
That is true, but you see, there's always two sides to every coin. Yes, we want the lifestyle and the people within the lifestyle to all be successful and to all be happy, and but then you do have those occasions where those newbies, if you can call them newbies, become attached.
Oh, yeah.
So that also happens, and that comes in with your jurisdiction. Yes. And that also happens with jealousy, because now you've got this person that you look up to, and now they maybe are spending a bit more time with somebody else. You now feel left out, and you feel like, oh, they don't like us anymore. It's nothing to do with that. But that does happen. Why? Because we're humans with human emotions. You just have to learn what they are, where they come from, where they stem from, and work through it. But a lot of the successful couples have been bit by that, where they have taken somebody under their wing because they saw potential in them, and then it's just become, now we've got these people that just won't leave us alone, kind of, and we can't even go and do our own thing now because they feel like if we're not with them or including them, we don't like them anymore. So there's those issues as well.
And how easy or how difficult is it for somebody to get unattached in a situation like this?
Sorry, say that again?
How difficult or how easy is it for somebody that has become attached to another couple or to a person to become unattached, in essence?
Well, every case is different, but the successful, the experienced couple would probably have to be, not probably, but they'd have to be quite firm and hurt feelings. But this is life; it will be hurt. You just don't have to get out.
But also, I think in a lot of aspects, it's possibly because these people that get attached and the newbies in the lifestyle has possibly not had enough education before trying to change their relationship dynamic to ethical non-monogamous relationship, right? Maybe they haven't had enough guidance, and they saw something somewhere, or they had an epiphany and they had like a brain fart. Okay, now we're going to go and we're going to become swingers because this looks like fun. And instead of looking at all of the positives and the negatives, as opposed to that, just going out willy-nilly, going out on a limb, let's go have some sex with a bunch of different people, random people, have like a blast, but you don't realize that there are real risks and real heartache associated to doing it wrong. So possibly giving these people better education.
I agree with you that there should be more of a, I don't know if you call it mentorship, but there should be some kind of a winning 101 class that people need to do. You know,
Absolutely.
even if they're just thinking of it, even if you're just thinking about, oh, maybe this would be fun. There should be some kind of a class where it's, you know, winning 101, what to look out for, what not to do, what to do, how to build your own relationship skills, you know. So I always tell the new people, come here, listen, don't go jumping in the deep end. Come, have a look, discuss what you like, what you don't like. Don't come shaving. You can wait for that. You have the opportunity. But for now, just come, fill up the wine, talk to some people, and just figure it out.
Also, I mean, if you're in a relationship, you're still going to be having sex with your partner, so don't be rushing to have sex with another person just for the sake of having sex. It's not always about the sex, it's about the experience as well.
No, true.
Miss KB, welcome back. Let's see if this is, I mean, your quality of video looks a lot better already, so I'm liking this. Let's hold thumbs, hold cross fingers. Goodness gracious, I mean, the universe is testing the shit out of this production this evening. Miss KB, welcome back. Hi, how are you? How do you feel about jealousy? Let's start over. You need to be a little bit louder, so speak a little bit closer to the phone first.
I do feel jealousy comes up in a lot of non-monogamous relationships. We've experienced it ourselves. I'm in a non-monogamous relationship, and it does come out as heavy insecurities and possible triggers as well. It's quite a heavy topic to discuss, and it is something that even the most experienced non-monogamous people actually feel and experience. And it comes out in the strangest of ways. Sometimes it's a trigger in the middle of a play. Sometimes it comes out as part of the first play discussion. It's very interesting.
That's very good. A good fact that you just threw out there. Even the most experienced and the long time lifestylers, right? Even they can get to a point where they all of a sudden they've never experienced jealousy. They've covered all their bases. They're very comfortable and confident in their intimate relationship. But all of a sudden, that one person comes along, and it's just all of a sudden like all hell breaks loose, and jealousy starts sparking up. Maybe the one side of the partnership feels threatened for the first time in forever because the partner is just maybe looking at this person in a different kind of way, and maybe giving a little bit extra attention in a different kind of way that your partner's not normally used to. Have you seen something like this happen, Els?
Well, see, jealousy has so many variables. It could be that you just had a crappy week, or you had an argument 2 days ago, and something random just brings it all up again. Like I said, we're all just humans with human emotion. Anything can happen. Anything will trigger it. It's not necessarily that particular person, or it could be anything. It's so random.
So, okay.
You have to identify that, and just work through it. Understand it, work through it.
Discuss it, communicate with it, and build a different foundation, because obviously the original one wasn't working. There's always a discussion. There's always a renegotiation that can take place. Okay, so jealousy we know now is going to happen. I mean, whether you've been in the lifestyle for the longest amounts of years, whether you've been with your partner for the longest amounts of years, jealousy is jealousy. It's a human emotion. I mean, the only advice we can possibly give is for people to just embrace your feelings, just acknowledge that you are feeling jealous and work through it, have the discussion, and see if it's something you can bridge. Moving on from jealousy, let's go on to, I'm going to leave judgment for later because I think that's going to be the bombshell, right? Let's go on to jurisdictions. What are the jurisdictions within ethical non-monogamy overall? Not just swingers, overall. I mean, polys, the swingers, all facets of the ethical non-monogamy. Charles?
Well, what do you mean by jurisdiction?
Your confinements. Are there confinements to your relationships? Are you restricted in any kind of way? I mean, it does seem, or it is perceived to be a very open and free kind of lifestyle and kind of relationship dynamic. But what are your confinements? What are your jurisdictions within your intimate relationship if you do practice ethical non-monogamy? For those who don't know.
Well, if every couple has their own dynamic, and that's something that couples need to discuss between, with each other. What am I comfortable with? What am I not comfortable with? And these goals actually change as well over time. Some couples we only ever play together. Others, they can play separately. So there's a lot of differences, and every couple has their own dynamic. So that I can't really say to you that, in the lifestyle you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do, because you can't do that. Every couple has their own dynamic. I can't tell a couple, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other. I mean, I would like to say that. Black people, have this, and what these parameters are and what the consequences are, and all I can say is take it slow. When you're starting out, take it slow. Discuss everything.
Okay, so
today you'll say, okay, no kissing. The next time, you're kissing someone. And it's, and it's okay. Your body says, okay, no, that's cool. I know we didn't discuss it, but it's okay. Kissing is now allowed. So those goals will move, but they need to be discussed. They need to be, it's almost like a contract, but I don't want to say contract. That's very confined.
Okay, so maybe perhaps let me rephrase my question, and that's I understand completely and I agree with what you just said. So let me rephrase my question. Let's change this up, right? What are ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamics, jurisdictions, confinements, and boundaries within the rest of general society? Because let's be honest, ethical non-monogamy is still very much frowned upon in today's cultural society. What are the jurisdictions and confinements when, you're out in public and you're out in society?
Okay, the only no-nos is it's adults only and it must be consensual.
No, but I mean, how are they judged? How are they, obviously general society confines them and they shun them for having that.
They judge because it's not accepted within society. Somebody decided that you can only ever be with one partner ever, and the rest of the society went along with that. I don't know. Swingers now decided that doesn't work for me. So, you see, the problem is now, because of society, and because we live in society, and we have jobs, and we have kids, and the kids go to school, and we've got tennis, tractors, and this and that and the other, you have to behave in a certain way. And, most swingers do actually live two different lives. They have their everyday sort of vanilla life, where they are a family and they do all family stuff, and then they've got their fantasy life, which is, like one week in the month, and then that's how they then get loose and they become their true selves, and they're not being a part of how society expects them to be. Because it really is. I mean, we all behave in a way that society expects us to behave.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? KB, yeah. So you
and
being
that's why non-monogamous people, for them it's a freedom. When they go to an event, or they go, even if it's just, you and your swing friends go camping and it's just three couples or whatever, it's just that freedom where you can just be yourself and not be judged.
KB, so you being in an ethical non-monogamous relationship, right? Why do you think you wouldn't stand around, in normal conversation and bring up, or, like normal people would say, oh, I'm going to a braai this weekend with my friends. Why can't you say aloud within public or within conversation that you are going to go and meet your other boyfriend whilst you're married, this weekend, where other people can brag about going to Bry's and going to the park and going to the water park or going to the bar and getting sloshed. Why is it okay for them to say that out in society and out in public, but it's not okay for you to say, if you've got plans this weekend with your other boyfriend, you're leaving your husband at home, why is that not okay to say to general society? Do you think? Can't hear you.
Society norms.
There we go.
Yeah. It's back to the Roman Empire and Catholicism, where it was a norm for you to have one life partner for your whole entire life. And I think from a non-monogamous perspective, you've already found as a non-monogamous practitioner, whether you're a swinger or a poly person or generally just somebody who is very much more liberated in your sexual proclivities, you're finding that as if you came in a one-to-one marriage for the rest of your life, as the society has basically molded everybody's mentalities, and it's from birth, it's a cultural thing, it's carried out through culture, that you are finding that certain partners need certain needs for you. You can't express it out there because of that cultural belief that is out there, because everybody believes you should have one partner for the rest of your life, and that's the person you marry, you live for, you die for, and you build your family with.
So if you take a look at the history, right, and if you take a look at our forefathers, back in the days of castles and kingships, right, all of these kings had multiple wives, and it very much would seem as if that was the general way of life, right? Having multiple partners was absolutely as normal as being in a monogamous relationship back then. Or am I perceiving the history wrong? Bells?
No. What you're talking about is it's very patriarchal, because the men were allowed to have multiple wives, but the wives weren't allowed to have multiple husbands.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Where now women are like, hey, wait a minute, how come you can go and have all these girlfriends and I can't?
Ek moet throwback sit, maar jy kan spyker. Dis unfair.
Yes, exactly. That is, it was very much of a male-dominated polygamy concept, not necessarily a polyamorous. Polygamy is when you have one person with many partners, and all those partners only have one person they all need. The polyamorous means many loves, so you could have multiple. I could have two partners. My husband could have two partners. My boyfriend could have two partners. Or they could have three partners. That's the thing. In the old days, it was very much a male-dominated polygamy setup.
Ah, I see. I think, yeah, okay, listening to that, I understand what you're saying. Also, I think it was just the kings maybe bragging to the fact that they've got lots of money and they can afford lots of wives. Because let's be honest, we're not exactly cheap creatures to have around, right? I don't know about that time, but I'm sure in new society we aren't. Listen, listeners, this evening, the first half of the show was absolutely a train smash. We had the most amounts of technical difficulties. We're still having very, very bad interference from my lovely co-host, Bunny, side this evening. I don't know what's going on with the signal. Eskom's just not working with us, and neither is the fiber, the fiber suppliers. So thank you for bearing with us and sticking with us and gritting your teeth as much as Lola has this evening. We need to go to a slight commercial break, but when we come back, we discuss all of the facts of the fantasy a little bit more with our guest, Bella Bills, owner and founder of NeXXXus, our guest this evening. Don't go too far. Go and refill your drinks. Get comfortable. Let's try and sort out the signal shit. And then more on factual fantasy, the judgment, jealousies, and jurisdictions within an ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamic when we return. Don't go away, lastfuls.
And then we come to play with me. 3 words. Like me. Play. Toys. Fun. Games. Cheekiness. With. Intimacy. Connection. Relationships. And finally me. It starts with self. And that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
So listen, lustfuls, for all of those, for all of you guys that are looking for a little something, an electronic something or a battery operated something to add to your relationship, please do get in touch with Miss Carmen Ellie from Play With Me Palace. I shouldn't say Play With Me Palace, she's going to have my ass for that, but it does feel like a palace, right? Play With Me, all the way in Fourways. I mean, it's a gorgeous 3-story toy store. I mean, it's every couple's dream walking, couple or single. I mean, it's every adult's dream walking in there. Go and visit Miss Carm's, go and buy something, go and spoil yourself, spoil a loved one. So, I mean, spoil a sister or brother for that matter. It doesn't really matter. Just go and have some fun and Play With Me. We are back after a short commercial break with Miss Bella Bills, owner of NeXXXus, and very much a pillar in the ethical non-monogamous swingers community here in South Africa. We are discussing this evening the factual side of the fantasy of having an ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamic. We are discussing the jealousies, the jurisdictions, and just overall the judgment that goes hand in hand with embarking on an ethical non-monogamous journey with your partner. We have been very, very unlucky in the beginning segments of the show. Also, I mean, it's the season finale, and we couldn't have asked for a shitter kickoff, right? But we are coming back in the second half, and we are taking this shit home. I mean, we're bringing the cup home. So, girls, before we went on break, we discussed a little bit of jealousy. We discussed the jurisdictions. Something that I know lifestylists proclaim a lot is that there is very little to no judgment within the lifestyle. Because, I mean, that's possibly the only place where a woman can walk around butt naked in a club with a partner being wherever. And, I mean, even if it's a super plus-size woman, she will be perceived as an absolute gorgeous goddess, right? Because when it comes to body shaming, that's one thing where there is just no judgment. Everybody's beautiful. Every size is beautiful. A woman's body is absolutely, it's like praised and worshipped within the lifestyle, right? But how is the rest of the lifestyle bits and pieces when it comes to people being judgmental of one another?
Okay, I take it that question is for me.
Yes, of course. Sorry, I should have directed it. I'm looking at your beautiful face. I just assumed that you saw I was looking at you.
Within the lifestyle, you're right in that there is no judgment according to body shape and personality. Where there is judgment, however, and bear this in mind, is how you conduct yourself. If you're going to be an asshole, you're going to be an asshole anywhere you go. People are going to avoid you, even in the lifestyle, because nobody wants to be next to an asshole. If you're going to be a drunk, and you're falling all over the place, and you're swearing at people, so your conduct is where people are going to judge you, and rightly so.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be the first one to judge you and kick you out the door. Because we don't need that thing within the lifestyle. So the only place where you will be judged is your conduct, how you behave yourself.
And rightfully so. I mean, rightfully so, because it's a very sacred space at the end of the day.
Yeah, the other thing where people will judge you, and again, rightly so, is your hygiene. If you don't look
I'm so glad you brought that up, right? Because I was gonna say something about this eventually in the season. I had a discussion a while ago with a guy that was supposed to have a play date with a new partner, with a new play partner. And I mean, they had the best amounts of chemistry. And when he finally got to get on with a play date, I mean, this play partner just had absolutely zero self-hygiene, right? Absolutely none. To the point where, I mean, this guy up and left. And, I thought it was disgusting in the sense of, obviously, as females, you need to take care of yourself. But also, not just that, it's having pride and caring about this journey that you're going to be embarking on as much as you should be caring about yourself. You should be caring about the partner that you are going to be playing with. I mean, not just self-respect, but having respect for somebody else that you want or that you are expecting to want to play with you.
Well, respect starts with yourself, right? If you don't have respect for yourself, you're not going to have it for the next person. And you can't expect the other person to have respect for you if you don't have it for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And if I would say from my own experiences, if you're not going to like something about yourself, how can you expect somebody else to like it about you as well?
That's very, very true. Also, I mean, exactly what Bella said. Respect starts with self. So if you're not going to take the time out and practice some self-love and some self-care, run yourself a nice bath, get the shaver out, shave those bits. I mean, just shave your pits, your armpits, for goodness sakes, right? I mean, that's a basic. Also, I mean, just really get some deodorant. So yes, I understand that would be a judgment factor. I mean, even in general society, that's a very highly judged aspect. What other aspects in the lifestyle are common or most commonly judged or frowned upon?
Sorry, say again. You broke up there.
What other aspects of the lifestyle is most commonly frowned upon or judged? I suppose also possibly people that cheat, right? Because I mean, the lifestyle isn't about cheating. So if you're a cheater, surely the lifestyle should be really frowning upon that, or not really.
If you're a cheater, you're a cheater. Whether you're in the lifestyle or not. Being in the lifestyle is not going to take that away. Because that's just your character. The lifestyle is not going to change who you are.
Do you think couples would be less prone to play with somebody, or would you say that a couple would be less prone to play with another couple if they know that one of the partners is cheating? Because obviously that's going to be high risk, yes or no?
Well, everything's high risk. Why would that be a higher risk?
Because I mean, if you're a swinger and your partner's giving you consent to play with other people, but you are still taking it upon yourself to get that extra bit and that last piece of cake, and dipping your fingers in the cookie tray afterwards as well. I mean, the eerste van alles is 'n donderse vraag. But
let me put it to you this way. The couples or the single ladies or the ladies within a couple that look for single guys. Okay, a lot of them prefer to play with married guys that are cheating on their wives. Married guys with families outside of the lifestyle.
It's less hassle, I understand.
Because there's no comeback, there's no drama. For them also, I don't want to say 5 minutes because it's not 5 minutes. But let's say that whatever play session they have, it's that and then it's gone. And then you don't see them again, you don't know their name, so there's that aspect of it as well.
They go back to their families.
Don't like that. So again, it's all about your own personal preferences. Some people will not play with a married man if their wife don't know about it. Other people prefer it because it's just for them, it's less drama. They're not going to come looking for them the next day, they're not going to hound them because they've got their own lives to live. I'm not condoning it, I'm not saying that it's right or it's wrong. It's not for me to say. I don't live in anybody else's shoes. But there are preferences on either side.
Miss KB, what do you think about cheaters in the lifestyle?
I fully agree with what Bella's saying in terms of the cheaters and that type of thing. However, there is other risks involved. A cheating person would not necessarily be able to go get tested because it would show up on their bank account. Their spouse will see it. It will show up on their medical aid. Their spouse will see it. So they, in turn, are also taking major risks. I'm one of those people that I want to know that my play partners are clean. I know that they are regularly getting tested, all that type of thing. So you want it's, and I play on the other side of the coin. I don't want to play with. I would never want to play with a cheating person.
But I mean, also that's something that's not really relevant in the swinger sense, because I mean you don't go and get tested before you go to a club every weekend, right? You get tested like once a month or whenever. Like I don't even know how often these people get tested, but you know you're not gonna like show your test results to every person you're going to play with when you go to a lifestyle club, are you?
No, 100% sure, Miss Lola. But like for me, example, I'm a really bad example because I'm actually not really a swinger. I'm polyamorous. Yeah, I would. My preferences are any play partner coming into the fold would need to be tested. But I do see the benefits and the non-benefits of people who are cheating and who people are not cheating. It really again it boils down to what are your boundaries, what communication have you got, and what are the rules that you've set between you and your partner.
Correct.
Look, I just find it absolutely counterproductive. Why be a damn swinger if you want to be a cheater? Like then, I can't. I just don't. I can't. I find it counterproductive. Then don't call yourself a swinger. Call yourself a cheater. You're not a swinger.
Exactly.
But also possibly I shouldn't be so hard and so judgmental. That's just me. Other aspects. other aspects of judgmental situations within the lifestyle.
The thing is, the amount of people that are playing without protection is astounding, to be honest.
That's not okay.
I will never. If that thing is not wrapped like a present, you're not coming near me. That's just my own personal preference and my own rule, because I value myself. But people kind of think that because you're in the lifestyle, that everybody's healthy and everybody's, sort of plays within the lifestyle, but you don't know. You never know where those people have been. And the amount of people that play without protection, seriously, to me, it's astounding.
I mean, that's also...
I can't go into the harem and say, do you have a condom on? You have your own... It's your right whether you want to wear a condom or not, and whether you allow the person that's playing with you to have a condom or not.
But I mean, do people not realize that it's absolutely fucking idiotic to have multiple partners you don't even know if these people have been tested? And now you're just having sex with the most amounts of people and putting yourself at the most amounts of risk. Also, like, why don't you just sleep with a loaded gun pointed at your head every night? Why is it not the same thing?
Well, it is.
Why are you not parking your car in the middle of a CBD, leaving your keys in it, and having no clothes on? Why aren't you going begging for it there? Right? It's the same damn thing.
It very much is the same thing. It's a risk. It's a massive risk, and it's a big risk. A lot of people are taking it.
So are these people being judged? Is there judgment when it comes to this, or not really? Because, I mean, if so many people are doing it, then surely it can't be...
There is judgment with that too. But a lot of people that are in the lifestyle are not... They're not regulars, you know what I mean? So they don't see it happening I'm in a position where I see this happening week in, week out, week in, week out. Other people don't know this. They don't see it. So they come to a party or they go to a party, wherever it might be, like every week. So people have this false sense of security that because you're in the lifestyle, that it's safe. It is not fucking safe.
Wrap that shit up.
The only way you can be safe is if you look after yourself. You make sure that you play safe. That's the only safe you're going to get. You make sure that you play safe, and then you make sure your partner plays safe, because your partner's going to come back to you.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. So for the partners playing or having unprotected sex, right? Firstly, you can with absolute zero certainty know or say that this sex you are about to embark on with this stranger, even though you've had the most amounts of conversations, that you are going to be safe. You don't know where this person's been. This person can be telling the most amounts of lies. Okay? This person can be disease fucking riddled. And you are now going to have unprotected sex with this person. Afterwards, you're going home to your partner that has given you consent and given you a gift of allowing you to have an intimate moment with somebody else other than them, and you are being a disrespectful duess by bringing those diseases back because you like the feeling of skin on skin. That's not okay, right? I mean, your partner's given you something amazing to be able to embark on a fantasy of yours. You're not wrapping that shit up and you're bringing the disease home. Now your partner's stuck with your bad decisions. That's not okay.
Yeah, but you know, babe, this happens in the vanilla life as well. Very much does. How many people are cheating out there?
Point in time,
True. Things at work, or he's got on a conference or whatever. You don't know.
I think sex is just easier in a lifestyle situation because, I mean, that's what lifestylers do, right? They're all about chasing that contractive orgasm. They're all about chasing that next high, that next amazing feeling, that next climax. So there's more sex, I think, and more or a higher chance of having sex within a lifestyle dynamic as opposed to, you know, going to a vanilla bar for a couple of drinks, going to Tiger's Milk or whatever.
That is true, and I think because you have multiple partners, that surely you should be more sort of self-conscious. But it doesn't always happen. There are people that I know that will just not shave with a condom. They just flat out refuse, will not. They still get a lot of play.
I mean,
it's a sad state of affairs. It's very sad.
Get the fucking rocks together. We need to stone these people. Really.
But because there's that false sense of security, like everybody's safe. Everybody thinks everybody's safe. Because we're lifestylers, we're safe. Not true. What makes you superhuman? You're not. Lola, what are you doing?
Sorry, my device is overheating. I'm going to have to end the video call and just call you guys back normally. So we won't have a video call. Sorry, I'm in load shedding. So listen, I mean, technical difficulties galore. The universe is testing. Those of you that have been here since when I opened the show, you guys will know that, I mean, I think the podcast gods are possibly even testing us and really throwing us with the most amounts of issues this evening. My phone is literally boiling and heating to the next level. So I can't even get my co-host and our guest back this evening. Fun times. This is amazing. Yes, viruses. It's possibly viruses. Let me quickly grab another phone because, I mean, we also can't even use phone. So it is what it is and it is what it isn't. Whilst Lola quickly struggles and faffs to get these people back on air, we are discussing this evening the judgment, the jurisdictions, and the jealousy that goes hand in hand with having an ethical non-monogamous relationship. The whole season, right from the start, we have told all of the lustful listeners about the beauties, you know, that the lifestyle brings and that the lifestyle can offer. anybody that would like to embark on an ethical non-monogamous journey. Here's the problem though, guys, because it isn't always all rainbows and unicorns, okay? There are hardships. There are things to consider before embarking on ethical non-monogamy, or before changing over a monogamous relationship over into a non-monogamous relationship. There are things to discuss with your partner. There are ways of doing it right and ways of doing it wrong. We don't want to do it wrong, because if we do it wrong, you're going to end up not only hurting yourself, but also hurting your partner in the process. And that's not something we want to do, right? And I have been lucky. The podcast gods have blessed me and allowed me to get both our lovely guest, Miss Bella Bowles from NeXXXus, as well as the co-host back on air this evening. Welcome back, ladies. Thank you for joining us. We're so glad you can make it.
Thank you, Miss Lola. We're back.
I mean, that was the most amount of sarcasm. Also, Miss Mel, I just want to say, you are the best bunny in the world, can I just say? Because your signal was really horrible earlier, and Lola really got agitated and irritated, and I don't really lose my cool like that. So, for the signal shit, I mean, fuck the signal shit. But thank you for being absolutely graceful and just saying, sorry, yes, Miss Lola. Okay, Miss Lola. You know what? You are a blessing. Thank you very much for being amazing. Also, thank you so much for sticking through all of these technical difficulties that we've had this evening. So before we lost you two, we were speaking about being wise and condomize. And this is something that, like, I don't think we should end this discussion yet, because I don't think people really understand the repercussions and the ripple effect that making stupid decisions in an ethical non-monogamous setup can cost not only you, but the fact that there are other people involved. And here's the thing, right? If you and your partner are both embarking on ethical non-monogamy, right? Your partner's playing with multiple partners, okay? He's then coming home, and this is what we were saying before we got cut off. He's then coming home, or she's coming home for that matter, let me not genderize. He or she's then coming home disease-riddled, passing these diseases on, okay? You being the partner, none the wiser, because you trust your partner, and you trust your partner's making the right decisions, right? So you are having unprotected sex with your partner. You then turn around and you've got another play date with another person. That person, you know, has also got the chance of getting infected, right? It's okay if you're also having unprotected sex. But the point is, it doesn't just end with you and your partner then being disease riddled because your partner made, or you made a stupid mistake. Right, Bowles?
Yeah, absolutely. It just perpetuates, and it just keeps going on and on and on.
It's never stopped. It doesn't stop, yeah, absolutely. KB, let's go to you, and I wanna touch on it because obviously we are discussing all aspects of ethical non-monogamy, poly being one of it, right? How often do you find in polyamorous relationship dynamics that people would play or people would embark in unprotected sex? Obviously, being poly would be slightly different because, I mean, it's not new partners regularly, and you tend to build a relationship with your partner and a connection with your partner and have a loving and trusting, you know, dynamic going on. So, but is there a lot of these playing without condoms being stupid, or are poly people slightly smarter?
I think I can only really speak from my own poly experience. We only embark on playing without condoms once somebody is tested. If somebody hasn't been tested yet, we're going to continue playing with condoms until that point. And a conscious decision and communication is made on everybody involved, decision taking in terms of playing without a condom. It's not something that you just do without any thought of your other partners or their partners for that matter.
But here's the thing, right? Okay, so you're in a loving relationship with, say, and I'm going to use your relationship or your situation as an example, right? Not intended at your family dynamic at all, but just as an example. So you're married to your husband, okay? That's all good and dandy and fine. You've got your secondary partner, all good and fine, dandy. So say, for instance, your husband has his other partner, and you find a third partner, a third addition to your relationships, right? And you and this guy really just hit it off, and you love one another, and you know that spark's just there, and the chemistries are buzzing, and the vibrations are going, and you're really feeling it, right? Why would you want to embark on a protected sexual journey if you are in a relationship with this person?
I unfortunately have OCD, so the testing will happen, and I definitely think safety first, always.
And yes, in your aspect, but let's consider the other people that are poly. Do all of them think and you know have a brain like you, or are some people a little bit slightly off and don't make wise decisions?
I mean, everybody's got their level of intelligence, and you do get off people.
What would I mean, also they walk among us, let's know. What would the repercussions be in a polydynamic if your partner were to bring diseases home?
I don't know if that relationship would be recoverable, because they have literally put somebody at put all of us at high risk. Obviously, this would be like an open discussion that needs to be had between everybody involved, because, I mean, you're not just putting your direct partner at risk, you're putting your other partners at risk, you're putting your partner's partners at risk. It becomes a nasty cycle, and then you're also going to have these, your partners, this massive rift between the friendships and the relationships that are in this polyamorous dynamic, because how do you know you can trust that person again? That trust is completely lost and it's broken.
So what's the lesson out of this? Be wise, condomize, don't be a fucking fool. Put it on your tool, okay? And let's just practice safe sex. Otherwise you will be judged, like, to the end of the earth. And trust me, Lola's going to judge you to the fuck too. Let's move on from the condom situation, because we know it's a nasty topic. Let's just hope people listen. Bells, what other facets within an ethical non-monogamous relationship dynamic can we expect to see or expect to possibly have judgment?
Well, there really isn't a lot in the lifestyle that people judge, but there is still, and it really is just how you take care of yourself. Because, you come into this lifestyle, you want to put your best foot forward. And when you don't even bother to comb your hair or dress nicely, I've shown people away. Like, no, you're not dressed for the occasion.
You kidding me? Wait, this is such a Bella move. I love the hell out of you, you know that. You are so real, raw, and fucking authentic, I love it. You have not, have you really? You are a prized possession.
This is my best tracksuit pants, he says. This tracksuit pants. You can even walking naked, because that's acceptable. But you ain't walking in here with those ratty things on.
Maybe he wanted to air it out so that he doesn't have smelly balls. I mean, there's always that. Dress for the occasion, guys. Otherwise, you're going to be judged the fuck out of Bella. Don't be coming in.
Bella has a point there. I mean, I'm one of those people, I don't disappoint. If there's a theme, I'm dressing up.
I know, Lola knows.
To me, it's important to put that effort into the way you look. Especially, you need to look presentable. How are you going to buy the next piece of meat off the shelf in the shop if it doesn't look good? It needs to be presentable.
You need to look appetizing, otherwise I ain't buying that steak.
Overspiced. It's about the
So wait, I've got a question. Now, it's having too much makeup on. Would that be overspiced? Asking for a friend.
You can't say that, no, because everybody has their own likes. Somebody's going to like the girl that's got 10 layers of makeup on, because that's their look. That's what they like. Other people will like the more fresh look, you know, but as long as you look clean and presentable and it looks like you've made an effort with yourself, you know, then you're acceptable.
I mean, also just, and it comes back to what we were discussing earlier, is it starts with self-respect, right? If you feel self-conscious going to the shops looking like a raggedy bag, okay, then it means you've got some form of self-respect. If you don't mind going in your slippers or fucking barefoot to the spa, okay, and your hair's barely combed, you've still got like 2 days ago's like mascara running down your face. If you're okay going to the spa or even just walking around in a complex looking like a raggedy bag, then you need to take a long, hard look at how much you respect yourself, because you need to kick it up a gear. I've got a question on the Podbean app at the moment saying, I've got a question, what makes a couple want to include other partners as a lifestyle, not as a fantasy? So, Mr. DMJZKNWY, thank you for reminding me how to say my alphabet. But I assume you are referring to a polyamorous relationship dynamic. That would be having loving and real relationships with the other partners, and not just having sexual partners or embarking on multiple sexual encounters. Please clarify that for us so that we can give you an answer on that. I see Mr. and Mrs. Tusum, the wonderful people that are also bells. They say hello, by the way. They say, we have been judged because... Sorry, I was speaking over you. What did you say to them?
No, just hello, darlings.
Hello, darlings. Mr. and Mrs. Tusum say, we have been judged because we have played across colour lines. Very real situation in South Africa. And this is something that really ticks me off. Everybody knows how I feel about this. There's a lot of places in South Africa that I will not endorse or that I will not support and that I will not advocate for, because this is South Africa, okay? It's a multiracial, beautiful, dynamic country, okay? You can't be as narrow-minded and so particular. If you want to play with people only with the same race as you, fine, fair enough, but you can't be expecting them to keep to your preferences and your wants and needs as well. I mean, really, how thick are you? Thick as thieves, apparently. Okay, Mr. DMZKNY, I see, no, it's actually me, Ali. Hi, Ali. It's Miss Ali. She was one of our guests on Lola's lessons. So, Ali, if you can just clarify that for us, then I can ask our guest this evening to help you out with that question. I've got another question from Big Red. It says, got a question. What makes a couple want to include other partners? Oh, it's the same question. Ignore. Okay, never mind. She says ignore. So whilst we're waiting for Ali, let's get back to taking care of oneself, right? Because it is a form of judgment that that's obviously very commonly found, because this is the second time that Bells has brought it up this evening. Why would you go to a club knowing that you are going to expose yourself and be vulnerable, take your clothes off, and I mean, that's the thing that protects you, you know, like your vulnerability, right? Why are you going to expose yourself knowing full well that you are amount control and you haven't taken care of yourself? And also, why aren't we just kicking these people out as well? Bells? When they haven't taken care of it, not when they come to your club in tracksuit pants. I mean, when people haven't taken care of like the intimate bits. Let me ask this. Let me rephrase once again. Has anybody ever come to you and complained that the people that they have played with have not been clean and tidy where it mattered?
Well, then why did you play with them in the first place?
No, but you obviously didn't know.
You have a choice.
But it looked presentable. The box looked good. The burger on the box looked good. The picture looked good.
Okay, so no. Because if you're going to play with someone, you've seen that's not your vibe, then just say, thanks, but no thanks. Change my mind. And you can still be polite about it. Like, don't be a doofus. But you have a choice of who you want to play with. And if you don't like the fur, then don't go there.
It might be somebody else's kink, yes.
We also live in a very liberated society, especially the newer generations. Shaving and waxing comes from the 80s and the 90s. The newer generations, they like a little bit of fur. Maybe some of them are a little bit more comfortable with it. Again, it's about the aesthetic you want to portray out, and it's the type of person you want to attract in. But also, again, keep it neat, keep it tidy, look after yourself.
I'm very sorry. I don't care about anybody's preferences. If you aren't shaving the pits, okay, that is the pits. There's no reason why you shouldn't be shaving your pits when you are a lady. I think it's disgusting. But that's, again, is possibly only my personal preference.
That's your personal preference, exactly. Some people like it. Some people, it turns them on. And some people really take care of that bush, conditioner and others.
No, I'm not talking about the middle bush. I'm talking about underneath your armpits. There's females that actually don't shave there. Why in the fucking hell would you do that? And there's some people that I've seen now also. I don't know if it's still a trend, but a while ago I saw this trend where everybody was actually like dyeing and having multiple colored armpit hairs and even plaiting the fucking things. So again, my personal preference, but no, Listen, I will never in my life look at a woman the same way if I had to like scar my eyes with that. I haven't heard back from Ali about her question, so look, let's just take it in its stride. The question said, got a question, what makes a couple want to include other partners as a lifestyle and not as a fantasy? So KB, I think this is going to be a good question for you because I actually think it's directed in a poly sense, not necessarily in a swinger sense. What makes a couple want to include another partner as a lifestyle and not necessarily as a fantasy? So what makes you want to have multiple relationships? What's the drive behind it?
Your life partner would generally cater for your needs in one way. They also have a specific love language. They have a specific way of playing. Indulging in including another person in your life, playing with another person, they might meet your needs in a different way. And in a way, it makes you feel like a whole person, that you are liberated, that your needs are all being met by different. It doesn't even have to be different. Your needs are just being simply met, and you're not wanting for more.
Also, a while ago, we spoke about the fact that sometimes you get different things from different kinds of partners, right?
Yes, correct. You're different. Everybody has different love languages. For example, you get people who have acts of service, and yeah, it's great. Sometimes you want an act of service. Sometimes you just want to be mangled and pulled by your hair and just fucked endlessly, and you've got a different partner that's not that kind of lover that will actually do that for you, and it means that your needs are being met on all different aspects. I mean, everybody is unique. You're human. You have unique attributes. You were brought up differently. You have different needs, and your needs might differ from person to person.
So possibly if you aren't absolutely fulfilled and happy and comfortable and confident in your current relationship dynamic, and and we had this discussion actually with Mr. D and Mrs. Honeybee at Pharaoh's that night we interviewed them. Remember, KB? And they said, I remember Miss Honeybee said that her partner can't always give her, her fantasies and the other way around as well. And they are then finding those fantasies, they are then finding that fulfillment from somebody else that can possibly work in a poly sense as well. Right or wrong, KB?
Absolutely correct. I mean, that was a phenomenal interview in itself. It was. I'd love to hear from them again. It was beautiful how they also communicated that they understand that they're not necessarily going to meet their partners, each other's needs in their marriage. And the way they support each other in the sense of, okay, but that person can give you what I can't give you. And they accept and acknowledge the needs that they can't meet with their partners. And it's beautiful to watch that they encourage their partner to indulge in those needs being met and enjoy that pleasure that they can get out of that.
Reading back on some of the comments, I see Queen Ananas. I pronounced it right this evening. Look at me learning and being like proficient and shit. Queen Ananas has joined us again this evening. I mean, she's going to become a loyal listener, seems by the looks of it. One of her comments earlier said, "Don't be silly, wrap your willy." I like that because it rhymes. Bells, going back to you before we close this episode off this evening. Let's hear from Bells, and I mean, you are supposed to be our expert on this topic this evening. Let's hear from Bells. What are some of the things that we need to be careful of within ethical non-monogamy that people don't talk about? Let's talk about everything they don't talk about. Let's air it all out so that people know what they are getting themselves into.
It's not all just roses and rainbows. If you think a marriage in itself is hard work, you add the lifestyle to it, it's just another dynamic that you have to work at.
That's a very good point.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's harder, but it's more fulfilling. And anything that's fulfilling, you have to work at. And you have to work at it.
Also, it makes sense to say to the listeners that if you don't have spoons to adequately keep one relationship in check, happy and smiling, right, you've got no space and no capacity. Let Lola tell you, you've got no fucking capacity trying to be ethically non-monogamous, because there's going to be nothing ethical about it, right?
Yeah, but hang on, you don't mix poly and swinging.
No, but I mean,
you have to manage relationships. In swinging, you only have your primary relationships. The other people that you share, they're not your boyfriend and girlfriend. There's no relationship there.
Yes, but still, if your relationship isn't solid and thriving, then you are just going to be causing more harm to a relationship than actually doing good. So you've got no place embarking on ethical non-monogamy.
What the lifestyle does is it's like a great big magnifying glass. So if you've got problems in your relationship and you come into the lifestyle, those problems are just going to get bigger if you haven't sorted them out. Sometimes the lifestyle can help you in identifying them and giving you the freedom, the opportunity to talk about it, because it gives you confidence. The lifestyle does do that for you. It does give you confidence. So you might talk about the thing that you didn't have the confidence to talk about previously, before you came into the lifestyle. So it does do that. But yes, if you don't come to the lifestyle to fix your problems, it can do that, it can, but it doesn't necessarily say that it will. It might even make it worse.
I suppose at the end of the day, it all depends what you are expecting to achieve out of what are you planning, out of what you're planning on doing, right? If you are planning to, or if you are expecting to achieve a different sense of fulfillment, like we just said, Ms. Honeybee and Daddy D said, if you are expecting to find a different sense of fulfillment that your partner knows they cannot provide and therefore has given you consent to find somewhere else, if this is the reason you are embarking on ethical non-monogamy, by all means, go for it, right? But if you are expecting to fix infidelity or fix your trust issues, because, okay, so now I've got trust issues, so let me just allow you to sleep with the most amounts of people, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll hide behind the door and everything will be fine when you come home. Everything will be like normal, and expecting to fix your insecurities in that way. Then you are absolutely up to shit and you need to have your mind read, because you are going to ruin your relationship. So I think at the end of the day, what we need to be mindful of is what are you expecting to achieve, and why are you deciding to steer your relationship in an ethical, non-monogamous direction.
The only reason you should come into the lifestyle is to enhance your relationship with your partner.
Preach. Amen.
It's supposed to be not you personally, but you with the couple.
Mm. I'm so glad you mentioned it.
Lifestyle for committed couples. If you're not committed to each other, you shouldn't be in the lifestyle.
I want to add to that, and I want to say, for all of the unicorns and all of the bulls and all of the, what's the other guys called? I think they call themselves dragons or whatever. For all of the singles playing in the lifestyle, right? Just as Bella just mentioned that, you're there to enhance your relationship. Couples are there to enhance your relationship. As a single playing in the lifestyle, wanting to play with couples or expecting to play with couples, you are also, newsflash and hard truth, let me smack you in the face with it, you are also there to enhance relationships. For your own sexual satisfaction, of course, as well. But you are there to enhance the couple's relationship. You are not there to make shit, okay? If you want to make shit, get your shit and get out. You are there to enhance. In essence, you are an add-on to a relationship. And be very, very, very mindful of the fact that you hold in your two hands and possibly in your pants the capabilities of ruining two people's lives and everybody else's lives that are connected to those people. So don't be a doers, okay?
I'm going to agree with you there, because if a single person can ruin your relationship, it's not their fault, it's yours.
No, but I mean, if you go out, if you are not embarking on this journey for the right reasons, and you're actually looking for love, so let me just go be a swinger, swing with couples, ignoring the fact that I'm actually lonely and I'm looking for a partner, then falling in love with a swinger's partner, you've got no place in ethical non-monogamy as a swinger. You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Most of the unicorns and bulls out there, they play with couples because they don't want a relationship.
Exactly.
They don't want the everyday girlfriend kind of relationship. They don't have time for that. But they understand, or they should understand, that they are there to, yes, get their rocks off, because why else would you do it, but to enhance the couple's relationship. You're a gift.
Absolutely, and that's the end, the be all and end all, right? Is you are there because you don't. If you are there because you're not wanting a relationship, you don't want the drama. You just want to get your sexual needs satisfied and make sure those are met. If that's not the reason, if you're lonely and you're looking for a relationship, stay the fuck out of it.
Yeah. But again, also, when you've got multiple partners involved, even if you're a single person joining into a couple, you're not there to replace one of the partners. You're there to enhance it. You're also there to get your own rocks off and get pleasured by two people that you find to be attractive.
So I see here, I don't know how long ago Mr. and Mrs. Twosome mentioned this, but they said, agree, Bells, the lifestyle will never patch cracks. It will only ever test those cracks and the foundation of your relationship. If it's chipped and it's chunking already, stay the fuck away from ethical non-monogamy. Then they say it's an add-on friendly. Before that, Ali actually came back and she further went on her question. Sorry, I lost my wording there. And she said, would it then be accepted in poly to have long-term relationship with your poly partner? I'm assuming that's your primary poly partner. and then essentially have two special people in your life. So I think what she's trying to say, or what she's trying to figure out, is whether it's okay to have a primary partner and then have two additional special people in your life. Look, I think at the end of the day, Ali, what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to define special people, because I can have a primary partner, and I can have a marriage, and I can have a monogamous relationship for that matter, and still have 5 special people in my life. I mean, I've got a lot of special people in my life. Bella, Miss KB, Miss Medusa, let me not miss anyone, Miss Carmen, the list goes on, right? Everybody's my person. So it all depends, I think, with the type of special person and what kind of relationship you are planning or you are having with these special people. Also, whether or not your primary, and in your words, poly partner, knows about these special people, understands the relationship drive with these special people, and also has given you absolute full consent to continue these relationships, and it's not being done in secret. Am I right or wrong? I mean, I'm no poly expert. That's what you're here for, Miss KB. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely right.
I learned.
You need to decide with you and your partner, what kind of poly are you going to partake in? Are you going to do autonomous poly? Are you going to have hierarchical poly? And that also then determines the position that your poly partners take in your life. Are they going to be equal to your partner? Are they going to be more important than your partner? Or are they still below your partner, and you and your partner's relationship takes primary prevalence in that whole dynamic?
I mean, look, you can also have partnerships where you, in a BDSM sense, where you're a protector of somebody, and it's absolutely a platonic relationship, but that person still means the most to you. That person's well-being and that person's safety means everything to you. So, I mean, it can also be purely platonic. And if it's platonic, and this is something that I actually have a question on, if you have a primary partner and you have a purely platonic partner, that's like your person outside of your primary relationship, does that make you poly, or does that just make you somebody with a friend? Because, I mean, platonic doesn't means there's love involved, and I've got love for all my friends, including Azernfona and Mr. and Mrs. Tusam. You see, I've already forgotten people. So I've got lots of love for lots of people, but does that make me poly? No, because, I mean, it's platonic, right?
So polyamorous relates to your sexual partners, your sexual loves, people you're going to be fucking. But you do have these life, or shall we say, soul connections with people that you would probably have a complete platonic dynamic with for the rest of your life. But that's somebody that is so important to you and your existence. They're a massive support structure for you, and you're a massive support structure for them. It's important that you, and I'd be shocked if people don't have these types of relationships in their lives, because it means you're solely independent, and you're unable to connect with people on other levels. How are you able to connect with somebody on a sexual level, whether it's a once or fuck or a long-term relationship, if you're unable to connect with people on a platonic level?
That makes a lot of sense. Bob, that actually gives me something that I just thought of that I want to ask you. Do you find that generally within the ethical non-monogamous community, do you find that these people tend to have more authentic relationships outside of their partnerships? I'm not talking about play partners. I'm talking about genuine friendships, because people understand, and they've got sympathy and empathy and love for your life and your life choices and your relationship choices. Do you think they've got more authentic connections and relationships than vanillas?
Yes, I do. I do, because those people see the real you. They see the genuine you. They don't see the mask that you wear in everyday vanilla life.
You don't have to hide.
And it happens a lot, where you first become play friends, and then as that friendship grows, the play kind of dissipates, because you're such an important person to me in my life that Yeah, now it's not sexual anymore. It's now just pure friendship love.
Because, I mean, friendships evolve too.
Well, see, this is, oh, God. It's so, the lifestyle is so complicated. Because people make it complicated because we're humans. But what I found, the most fuck-ups is where people want to be, can I almost say, monogamous with their lifestyle play partners. Sort of like, if I'm fucking you, nobody else can. Or if we're fucking, let's say it's a group of 6 people, 3 couples, you know, we only play together. Because again, they've got this thing of, if we only play together, if we only play with each other, then we will be safe. Then you start visiting with each other, then you start going on holidays together, then that's a fuck up. You're still playing, and these people mean so much to you that they are part of your life, it's a fuck up. Make a decision. You're either playing with them, or you are friends, and you're not playing.
Yeah, you can't be playing with family because that's in essence what it becomes, right? You form such close bonds with these people after extended periods of time, especially if you guys are like going on holidays together and like you are babysitting each other's kids and shit like that, and you've met each other's parents, right? Are you guys married or no? So don't let that relationship become too involved and too personal. If it has become too involved and too personal, like, don't make it sexual. Stay away from, or, enjoy the friendship for what it is. Be happy you guys had the good times, but be thankful that you've now gained a friendship out of it. Do you think that the friendships that are formed within the lifestyle tend to last longer because people tend to be more authentic and open?
Yes, I do believe so. And these are also people that you can count on. And I've got friends where we can sit in the jacuzzi naked and have a drink, and it's not sexual anymore. That has died because now we are, sort of like heart friends. Heart as in HEART.
Hartsvrienden, hartsmaatjies, hartsmense, ja. I think you're one of my hartsmense, Bells. I love you too, but let me just stop loving on you for a second. And go back to, I wanted to mention something also about relationships, right? I see, okay, hold on, before that, I see, Zuri Inferno has said different boundaries exist for different people. Yes, I think it's important to know and acknowledge your own boundary, your relationship's boundary, and what the partner or the partnerships that you are looking on possibly getting involved in, what their boundaries look like, right? And whether their boundaries align with yours. I mean, is your end goal and like your end line, does it look the same for me and for you? And is it something that we can combine? Or are you going to Antarctica and I'm going to the desert and there's absolutely no way of bringing these two together and making it work? Why are you going to force something like that? So possibly discovering what your boundaries are, but also being mindful of the fact of whether your boundaries are going to coincide and coexist with the partnerships that you are looking to build. And I think that counts for ethical non-monogamous swingers as well as polyplay partners, right? Right, KB?
100%. And also, if you're going to go around and say to your play partner that you just met at a swingers club, but they can't play with anybody else, then you should not be swinging. Going to a swingers club to play with somebody else.
That's what I wanted to say, yeah.
Freedom to play with who they want to play with. Again, also, it boils down to your boundaries. Different partners have different boundaries. You've got different, shall I say, rules between each other. I've got different rules with my boyfriend, for example, that I would have with my husband. It boils down to what your boundaries are. What are your personal boundaries, and how does that affect your relationship? What are your relationship boundaries, and how does that affect your ability to play with others?
Look, I've got a little snide comment to add to that, but I see Podbean has just notified me that we've got 2 minutes left of this airing, then we're officially out of time. So I've got a little snide comment to add to swingers that are confining their play space to only a certain amount of people. I just want to know, right, does this make you a monogamous swinger? For all intents and purposes, because you, and never mind, like I said, snide comment.
That's a very good question. And the most breakups I've seen have come out of those kinds of relationships.
Because you're tying it up too thick. Jy maak die pap te dik aan. Get the fuck out. Remember why you are doing this in the first place, and what your drive was before you embarked on this. Listen, lustful listeners, this evening we did the final episode with the most amount of fucking trials, traumas, and tribulations, right? For the season finale. The technical difficulty really tested the shit out of us, but we made it. And this is the season finale. We aren't going to see you guys for a couple of weeks, but hell knows we will be back, because this needs a lot of education, and we are here to bring it to you guys. To our gorgeous guests, the beautiful Bella Bulls from NeXXXus, we love you the most. We appreciate you, and we really respect what you have done for the community, the lifestyle, and what you continue to do. So Podbean was really rude, and it wouldn't allow me to thank my gorgeous co-host for the season that she has gifted her time to me. So while we wait for the room to fill up, Buzz, I want to know what's next for NeXXXus. What's next for Pharaohs? What are you planning? What is coming?
We've every time you come here, there's something new.
I know, it's super exciting.
We've got plans, but it's under wraps at the moment.
Under wraps, okay. How are your parties? Regulated? Like for instance, during the course of the month, how often do you guys have parties? When can our lustfuls expect to find you guys open? How do they get into contact with you? And how do they book a party with you guys at NeXXXus?
Well, if you want to come to NeXXXus, the one thing you've got to remember is that we work by referral only. So if we don't have strangers here. So the only way you're going to be invited to join NeXXXus is if you are referred by one of our current members. Everybody knows somebody.
Okay.
And that's just what makes it great.
Okay, that's great. So if they want to come and they don't know anybody, how do they then get into your doors?
They can't.
They can't come and have a meeting with you and introduce themselves.
That's the reason why our parties work.
So I mean, also there's ways and means of getting by, right? If you don't know anybody in the lifestyle, find yourself a meet and greet, find yourself a good group of people, put your feelers out, put yourself out there, create a profile on Z-Night, find some friends, meet up with them in the public, and they can possibly vouch for you. I mean, then you've overcome that hurdle, right? Exactly.
Can we come and view? View what? This is not a zoo. Come view.
Also, I mean, are you looking to come and have a vacation here, or are you looking to come and have intimacy moments?
We just want to see. Well, what do you want to see? You want to see people fucking? No.
It's not a live sex viewing.
It's not a live show.
No, but if you want to come and watch people fucking, please just download a porno. Come participate if you want to be a swinger.
Yeah, also, I mean, people need to realize and be mindful of the fact that it's not a strip club with secret rooms in the back, right? This is a lifestyle club. It's people that actually have respect and have love and have spoons for the lifestyle, and it's people that really embark and take the shit seriously. It's their lives, right? This is what they do. It's their lives. So be respectful of that.
Sharing that intimate relations with each other. And if
Exactly.
you're not going to be part of that intimate relation, go download a porno.
Exactly. So, I mean, the room is filled up quite quickly again. Let me take this time. We're not going to keep the lustful listeners up for too much longer. We have had a very in-depth episode and a very successful episode, even though it was filled with so many challenges. And I couldn't have done it without a gorgeous guest and a fantastic co-host. And speaking of co-hosts, Miss KB, I just want to take this time to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for being an absolutely invaluable asset to this whole production series, not only the lifestyle lectureship and co-hosting and jumping in without any warning, without any preparation. I mean, I gave you 2-3 hours notice. It was literally, okay, so that's it, you're doing it. We have no other choice. You are it. And you did it, and you took it in your stride, you really pulled through, you brought your A game, and I cannot thank you enough. I've got the world of respect for you. Thank you very, very much for adding so much value.
Thank you, Miss Lola. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you, and I'm hoping to work with you some more. I'm actually honored to be part of this Lola's Productions in total. It's been an absolute learning curve for me, even with all my years of experience as well.
Mm-hmm. Look, and that's exactly what we strive, and that's exactly what we set out to do right from the beginning, right? Is to teach people, to give people, to put people on that learning journey, and make them uncomfortable and force them to experience something that they wouldn't under normal circumstances, and generally have gone and educated themselves on. Sex positivity is a very touchy subject, right? People get uncomfortable. No sound. I don't know why there's no sound. There should be sound. Let's check the sound now. But there we go. I hear Lola. Okay. Sex is a very, very touchy subject. Everybody knows it's not table talk, and this is what we are here to diminish and to squash, is the fact that it's silenced. Sex is absolutely silenced, and talking about different relationship dynamics and choices when it comes to your intimate relationship, this is taboo. You're not allowed talking about it. We say bullshit. We say the only way that you are going to live a happy, prosperous, and thriving relationship life with your partner, be it one or be it many, is by being educated in what a wonderful and absolutely sacred thing sex is and can hold for you and your partner or partners. And that's why we've created this production series. Look, we are going to be back for all the lustful listeners that are getting slightly teary-eyed like I'm possibly getting. We are going to be back. We're taking a slight production break. Lola's lessons on a Friday night is still going to continue for another 4 weeks. We've got 4 weeks left of Lola's lessons, and after that we're possibly going to be taking between a 4 and 5 week production break, depending on how quickly we can put the next production together. But we've got a whole team, to the moderators that have modded every single episode of Lola's Lifestyle Lectureship, and that have also really honestly added so much value. The lot of you are so dear to my heart. I cannot thank you enough. We have made it, top 1 on Podbean for 4 weeks in a row. Number 2 now this week. We are going from strength to strength, and we are kicking butt. Good luck to anybody who dares takes us on, right? Because we aren't just 2 people. We're a team, honey. Bring your shows, bring your copies, bring the lot of it. We're ready, and we are going to thrive because we're doing it for the right reasons. We love our lustfuls. We are absolutely passionate for sex positivity. We're here to stay and educate society on sex positivity and lifestyle relationship dynamics. From me and the production team for Lola's Lifestyle Lectureship, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, but we will be back and better. Love the lot of you lustfuls. Thank you for being so loyal.